What's that story you've never been able to tell? In 6th grade one night I was like, I really don't feel like going to school tomorrow, so I looked up how to get a fever. I found a tutorial that said to take a bath at the hottest temperature your bathtub will go, and then stay up all night. I decided to try it and I started the water for a steaming hot bath. It stung to get in it, and I somehow survived it for 30 minutes. When I was getting out I felt dizzy and then I fell on the floor and had a seizure. I woke up and saw the blinding ceiling lights of the bathroom and the first thing I thought was, am I dead? And then I threw up in the toilet next to me and had a migraine for the night. And later found out I got first-degree burns. So long story short, don't do that. Did you go to school the next day? Around 42 years ago, my little brother was playing with matches and set the woods on fire, burned about 10 acres. Everyone assumed that it was me smoking in the woods, so he and I just let it be me. I took the blame, and the ass-whooping, because Dad was kinda rough on the ass-whoopings when he was mad. And I didn't want my little brother to have to take it. Being that Dad got a little carried away this time, broke my arm, we've just never told anyone the truth. Dude. Your dad is a fucking asshole. In 6th grade, we had this paper we had to write, I forget what the subject was. I decided to procrastinate a lot. Then the day it was due rolled around, and I had nothing. We had to read our papers out loud in front of the class. I was totally prepared to take the 0, but then I realized he wasn't actually taking the papers we used. So I decided to go up to the front of the class with a blank sheet of paper, and improvise. I ended up getting an 80. Crazy shit, bro. In the 7th grade, we were assigned to read any non-fiction book and write an essay about it. My dumbass forgot, and in a stroke of genius, improvised a whole-ass book out of thin air. Characters, author, plot, it was all made up. I got a 95 on that assignment. That was the peak of my life. One of the first times I invited my girlfriend to spend the night at my college apartment, I went to bed early. We're both gamers, but I'm an early bird and she's a night owl. She reassured me I could go to sleep without her because, little did I know, she had plans to unlock Toad, Toadette, and the special cup in Mario Kart, DD for the GameCube. My apartment complex had very strict parking. There were only 2 parking passes for me and my roommate, but I encouraged my girlfriend to park in the lot anyway because I'd never seen a friend get towed in the couple of years I lived there. She really didn't want to get towed though, so I promised to pay if she got her car impounded. So I go to bed while she plays Mario Kart all night. Little did I realize she's an absolute freak at the game. I wake up early in the morning to find her passed out from a night of gaming. I fire up the GameCube to play some Mario Kart with breakfast. Not aware she unlocked almost everything in the game. I proudly proclaim, "You got towed." Barely awake she responds, "I got towed?" "Yeah. You got towed last night while I was sleeping, I can't believe it." "I got towed?" "Yeah. Don't you remember?" She frantically checks behind the blinds to look outside at the parking lot. "I didn't get towed." "Yeah, you got towed and Toadette last night?" One of our best moments for sure. This is a very wholesome story that begins with the first night I invited my girlfriend to spend the night at my college apartment. I started doing one of those 5K running apps. On this app, the trainer is named Erin. She coaches you through each training session. I've never been a runner and now can do a solid 5K. But anyway, Erin told me that I've got to have a mantra. Something I can repeat to myself when I want to give up. Her mantra is "You're strong, Erin. Be strong." I could never come up with anything better, so now my mantra is "You're strong, Erin. Be strong." My name isn't even close to Erin, but it doesn't feel right using my own name at this point. I'm surprised how often I want to give up on things and automatically think "You're strong, Erin. Be strong." Edit. Guys, I am so overwhelmed and touched by these replies. Gold and silver and wholesome? Oh my. We are all strong Erins. If it makes you feel any better, I have a similar thing for urinals. I used to get stage fright and not be able to pee if other people were in the bathroom at the same time. I read something online and I started saying in my head, "This is my toilet, I can piss where I want." Similar principle in that the toilet isn't actually mine, but it works if I ever need it. Occasionally there'll be someone next to me and I'll not hear a pee noise. I often wonder if I should share my tip or if it would super creep them out. The time my mum needed to go back into the house to get a scarf. Because of this we were held back and missed a bus by 10 seconds. That bus then crashed into a bridge at very high speed because the bus driver had mental health problems. It is the closest I have ever been to death. I will never complain about my mom going back to get a scarf in my life again. Holy shit, that is insane. Sometimes you just make it by the skin of your teeth, I guess. When I was just a boy, I was touched when I was getting my haircut. My father had to make a quick run to the ATM. So we were alone. I never realized it affected me that much and honestly didn't even think about it for years until I drove by the place where the barbershop used to be and just felt immense stress. I would never tell my father. He has always been insecure about whether or not he's been a good father to me. This would make him hate himself. Edit. Thanks to everyone who gave me support just now, and to everyone else who told their stories below. You're so brave and I'm always here for you. I have never came out with this story to anyone except for one close friend. Everyone who supported me here has me one step closer to talking more about what happened to me. Oh boy. I'm in a very similar boat. I was molested for years by a trusted teacher, not a school teacher. But I'll keep it vague. Kinda suppressed it for a few years before I realized how it might have fucked me up long term. Currently trying to save money for a therapist. I can't ask my grandparents, who paid for the lessons, or my parents, who were very supportive of the activity he was teaching. They'd be devastated. I didn't want to tell anybody then, because I didn't want to be the kid that got molested. Now I hate myself because I know he had to have done it to other kids and I didn't come forward. He committed suicide a few years ago. And it was some BS reason about his GF breaking up with him. I hope someone blackmailed him into it, the piece of shit. It is not mind-blowing or anything of the sort, which is why I never told it, but when I first started getting sick and couldn't move around the house like usual, my cat would yell at me for 2 minutes until I sat down. He would proceed to purr furiously over my stomach, which was hurting, for about 10 minutes at a time. He would chirp at me if I tried to get up beforehand and keep bumping my leg as I walked past if I never sat down. Little did I know that he was trying to heal my cancer, that was growing into the muscle by that point. He's a little Siamese mix and he is very vocal, and I appreciate his little squeaks of support. He is a very good boy. Edit. Wow, thank you so much for the bless up, gold, and silver. I have never received anything like this on my posts here on Reddit. During this quarantine, I wish everyone the best of health and that you can manage all of your family's needs. I will be going through and answering all of the replies now. He did a quick CAT scan. I had a chat with one of the most notorious pedophiles in my country. It was odd, he spoke in a way that made it seem like he was my age. I was 7. He eventually tried to trick me into touching his dick by buying me a hot dog and a soda. I only declined and bailed because I was low-key offended that he put mustard on the hot dog he was offering me. You're telling me this guy molested hundreds of children and served only 6 years? I moved to the UK from Zimbabwe when I was 4. The first few years my parents spent their whole time trying to settle down. By the time I was 8 they realized we had never been to London. So on a hot June day we went into London. We went to the aquarium, Covent Garden to see all the performers, on the London Eye. It was a good day. To end the day we went to Buckingham Palace. I was tired so I was resting my head against the bars asking all the questions you'd expect from an 8-year-old. After a while my parents said it was time to go. I pushed away from the bars and then felt the cold steel against the back of my ears. I hadn't noticed my head has slipped through. I panicked, a crowd gathered, I'm probably in many a family photo album, even a horse guard came to see what the commission was about. Bet he wasn't expecting a child with his head stuck. By then I had accepted this as my new home. But I couldn't figure out how I'd go to sleep with a spike on the floor. Luckily an old lady had a tub of Vaseline in her handbag and my dad was able to pull me out with my head smothered in Vaseline. I like to think the old lady was the queen.